and welcome to everybody. Today our guest is Bkfc fighter Calie Cutler. Can you please say a few words about yourself and for the introduction so we can kick off? And thank you for accepting the invitation.
Yeah, my name's Calie Cutler. I started wrestling in seventh grade, went on to my junior year of college wrestling, and then I started MMA about 8 years ago, and I just had my first bare knuckle fight last weekend. My face is still kind of feeling it, but
So you said your first martial art was actually wrestling or something else?
wrestling. Yep,
Yes.
I started wrestling. Did it for about 9 years.
So who's coaching you at the moment? Who are your sparring partners? Where are you located right now?
So I'm located at Michigan Top Team. It's Darren Cruikshank's gym with Jason Fisher, and then one of my coaches is Kara Rowe, which she was the one in the corner for my bare knuckle fight. So she's been working a lot of boxing with me lately.
Can you please elaborate your nickname?
The Honey Badger.
Yes, very original.
So yeah, my first MMA fight, they put me against a boxer, and I was just kind of a wrestler, and they were kind of scared that I was gonna like react not well to getting punched because I was just a wrestler. But I went in there and just kind of like bowed through the girl, she was punching me in the face. So they're like, "Wow, that girl does not give a fuck." So they named me the Honey Badger.
So it was of that fight, or
What now?
so they gave you that nickname after that fight, or
Yep. The Honey Badger because the Honey Badger videos were like Honey Badger don't care. So,
do you have some tattoos or not?
yeah, I have a few tattoos. I have like a back piece of just flowers and birds, and then I have the USA wrestling symbol on my ribs.
Does flower have a special meaning for you? Because last time when I interviewed the guy who has tattooed a rose here, he says that
Oh,
flower pushes him towards the end. You know that flower means he's fighting always until the end, never mind whether he loses or wins. Does the flower have special meaning for you, or you just pick the tattoo because you like it?
originally it was supposed to be a tree with a bunch of like flowers in front of it, just so it just kind of looked pretty, like flowers falling out of a tree, but they made the flowers so big on my back that there's no room for a tree. So, but I just like nature in general, so that's why I got them.
Yeah, I mean, I also have a friend who has a flower, but he has sun patterns. It's kind of flower that leads to a tactical battle. It is believed that it leads to a tactical battle. So I was thinking whether your tattoos is just something you like or it has some special symbolics.
Kind of like I backpack a lot, so I'm out in nature, so I love plants, I love animals, I love fungus, bugs, so
So which one is your favorite animal? Do you have one?
I mean the honey badger would probably have to be it. But I have a dog, and just because I love my dog so much, I'd have to say dogs are my favorite animal. Even out of the whole animal kingdom. Even though hippos are pretty cool. But
Yeah. Can we discuss your first amateur MMA fight? Do you remember how it looked?
um yeah, I just honestly I don't remember a lot. It was so long ago, about 8 years. I just remember charging at her, taking her down, and then the first time I ever ground and pounded another human being, it was kind of gross. I like remember the vibration of her like skull under my fist, and I remember kind of feeling a little sick to my stomach because it was the first time ever feeling something like that. And I actually couldn't wait till the ref like stopped the fight because it was kind of grossed me out, just like like just the way her like my fists like bounce off her face, like it was kind of weird. So I'd say it was interesting, new life experience, definitely.
Who was your toughest amateur opponent?
Toughest amateur was actually my she's my teammate now. Cora Thompson. She probably gave me my hardest amateur fight. I won by a split decision by like skinning my teeth, like 5 round fight. But a couple of years later, I ended up joining her MMA team, so it was kind of interesting because now we're teammates. But she's yep, she's one of my practice partners now, so she definitely gives me a run for my money.
Did pro debut give you a hard time? Because pro debut is always a hard moment in the career. And how did it affect you actually? How were you feeling heading into that fight?
So I went a lot of my amateur career without losing. I went 10-1 as an amateur. So like losing wasn't a super even kind of possibility for me at first in my pro career. So I was actually less nervous than I am now, just because like, man, pro is a hard life. Like the talent level is so much higher, and I didn't really know what I was getting into when I first went pro. I ended up winning that fight, but I wasn't really aware of the step up I was taking when I went pro. So I guess I have more nerves now than my first pro fight, honestly, just because I know what can go wrong, like being on a liquid diet for 5 days after your fight. Like I still can't chew anything right now, so I'm very aware of what can go wrong now.
When we talk about that, do you cut many pounds, or you're around your walking weight when you fight?
Oh no, I'd say my average. Well, hey, my average weight cut is about 10 pounds of water. I've been cutting water weight for many years. You know, I started when I was like 13 cutting water weight. So my record for water is 16 in one day. So I could honestly write a book about cutting water weight, like how just to do it right, what steps you got to take. It's very fine art. But 10 pounds is pretty easy for me. It's pretty standard.
Well, I got to say I'm surprised. I mean, for me it's very hard to cut weight, but obviously every fighter can cut 20 pounds with this. I don't know how, but way to go.
Yeah.
Who was the toughest professional fight for you? Did you have one aside of bare knuckle? We are talking about bare knuckle separately. We are talking now MMA career, yours. Toughest pro fight.
So definitely Lindsay Garbett was a really tough fight. We really scrapped that one out. Like, that one went a long, long distance. We were both in very good shape, so it was just a grind the entire fight. But, yeah, Lindsay Garbett, definitely.
What do you think about Colleen Medeiros?
Well, I don't really keep track of people. I know I lost to her a while ago, but I don't know because I haven't really been paying attention. I don't fight 115 anymore either, so she's not in my like weight class. Like I definitely was in the wrong weight class when I was fighting 115. I'm a little bigger than that. Like so I fight 125 now. Oh yeah. So I guess I don't have an opinion because I don't think I'd ever fight her again.
What do you think of KOTC and LFA as promotions? Are you pleased with how they treated you? Or
Yeah, I really liked LFA. It was a great media experience and everything. But before I fought for them, my plane got like delayed by like 24 hours. So I guess like getting to the LFA fight was kind of a pain in the butt, but everything else was pretty pleasant. I really liked fighting for them.
yeah, great. Your last MMA fight and last MMA victory happened against Perchunaev's Gimbaeva. So what can you say about that decision win?
Let me think. My last pro fight, you say?
Yes, pro MMA fight. You won via decision.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it was a good decision. I won that fight. I was pretty much on top of her the entire fight. I don't think she even hit me really once. I remember that was the first time I came out of a fight and I didn't like feel like I had any damage, like, which was kind of nice. Like, that doesn't usually happen, but at the same time, I kind of go into fights for a little bit of a battle, so I was a little disappointed, especially since it was a home fight. I wanted to put on like a super show. So, but I don't know, it was a very interesting opponent just because she was from out of the country. So, that was a new experience for me.
Excellent. So before we talk about bare knuckle, you transition, but I assume you have a favorite punch. Every bare knuckle fighter has it, right?
Yeah, I, hmm, my favorite punch probably is slip jab at the moment, just because it's like the easiest as this point in time. But I want to get better, and I eventually want my like slip to a liver punch to be my favorite punch soon. Like I want to start hitting people with that because I feel like I could really like get some liver damage in, but haven't quite perfected it yet.
How would you describe your Bkfc fighting style? Are you offensive, defensive, counter striker?
Well, since it was my first one, I'm still in the figuring who I am out stage of things, and especially since my opponent was a very, very tough introduction to bare knuckle. Like she's quite the opponent. So, I would have to fight a little more to kind of figure that out. I do think I would be a little more aggressive my next fight. I'd like to turn more into like a bully badger. Like that's what I want.
How? Sorry. Why did you transition to bare knuckle fighting? What inspired you to transition?
Well, I just got an offer and I thought about it, and I'm a wrestler and I wanted kind of the excuse to only work on my hands, and I thought, well, this is a great excuse. Like, and it's kind of like closer to MMA than like boxing is because of the smaller glove situation. I'm like, well, this would really help work on my MMA striking, like just help me in striking in general, and that's why I did. It's just a new challenge.
You fought at bare knuckle, you fought at MMA. Can you pinpoint to the greatest differences between, punching in MMA and bare knuckle? Are there some special rules and regulations that limit you in BKFC or?
I mean, you gotta be really careful how to like not break your hands. You gotta land punches correctly, or else you're gonna like hurt your wrists or your hands. And even if you do land it correctly, you still are gonna take damage there. So you gotta like strengthen your hands by like, doing a lot of bad work without gloves, and it takes a while. You want to build up that bone density, and then taking punches. Man, they suck. Like my face is still pretty. I've never gotten this swollen from a fight before. So like my under my lip is like still black. Like inside my mouth, all black. Like it's pretty gross actually. But yeah, just a lot more damage.
What can you say about your bare knuckle debut? I mean, you fought a very tough opponent. Did you two fight at MMA? Sorry, at Mma Fight fight earlier or not?
Yeah, we did. That was another scenario where I was like, I want to try this just to like test it out. Um, yeah, I think I took that fight on like 2 weeks notice though, so I didn't really get training into that. I guess I kind of wanted to just see where my striking was, and it was a big wake up call, honestly, just to like only strike. So it was a good experience. Glad I did it both times.
So about bare knuckle fight, you think it's still hard, to get used to it, or you're like, I'll adjust very quickly, or what are your plans for the future about the world of bare knuckle?
Well, I definitely want to keep working my technique. I definitely want to work on coming forward more because I want to be more of the aggressor next time. It's just going to take practice. So
That's awesome. That's really, really awesome. I mean, you need pretty much, in my country, they say you need guts to fight bare knuckle. That's how they say in
yeah.
my country. And how do you feel as a female competitor in bare knuckle? Does it pay a lot of attention or?
Yeah, I mean, I got more attention from this fight than a typical MMA fight, so that was kind of like interesting. And then, I feel like it's almost like a little bit of a different crowd too for bare knuckle, so it was nice to just get that exposure.
Would you like to add something, maybe greet someone? Is there something that we miss in this interview?
Um, what now?
Well, would you like to greet someone? Maybe you would like to send a message to your teammates, sponsors, or
Oh, yeah. I mean, thank you, Kara Rowe, for cornering me for that fight. And then I have a mouthguard company, Bite Me Mouth Guards. They make all my custom mouth guards, and I mean, I still have my teeth, so they do a good job.
thank you so much for this interview. I will publish it tomorrow. Probably it will be nighttime yours, but check in the morning. You will see it. I will send you video.
All right, thank you.
All right. Thank you a lot, Calie. Have a great day.
You too.